I'm guilty of this. I was so guilty of this. Before I started the process of locking my hair, I did a lot of research. I looked at a lot of pictures. I was on stalking people on Instagram and on YouTube. And then finally, I went ahead and took the leap. If you are sweating everyone else's locks and you are absolutely obsessed with locks, if you think they're beautiful, if you love them on other people, if you are natural or have some hair on your head, you can have locks too. So if you're sweating people's locks, then you need to just hurry up and get your own locks and stop playing around. If you wear a lot of protective styles, if you get your hair braided a lot, if you wear a Senegalese twist, if you always, I'm falling apart here, if you always are wearing a weave or braided styles or natural protective hairstyles, then just lock your hair. You already have your hair tucked away anyway, so why not just have that ability to protect your hair, because locks are still a protective style, and just watch them grow and it all be your own hair. So if you're always in a protective style, guys, if your hair is braided and you're always going and getting it redone anyway and taken out and washed and all that other stuff, why not just lock your hair, and then you can have the benefit of having your hair all on your head, not having to unravel it, but just getting it washed and retwisted, and it'll probably take about the same time that it would to go and get your hair redone anyway, sometimes a lot less. Locks are so flexible. So if you are worried that you won't be able to wear different hairstyles anymore, that this is going to be something that is so permanent, yes, it can be permanent, but there's so much that you can do with your hair. So if you were one of those people who are one of those people who are always in a protective style and always switching it up, you can still have flexibility with your hairstyles if you lock your hair. So don't worry about that. Lock your hair. I'm a DIYer. I love to do my hair myself. I've always been wanting to do my hair myself, and YouTube is filled with a lot of people that do their hair themselves. So if you are a DIYer, especially if you are one with your hair, lock you should go ahead and just lock your hair. You can start your locks yourself and maintain them yourself and save money that way. If you've always been someone that's been used to having your hands in your hair and playing with your hair, you don't have to lose that ability, and you don't have to lose that hobby or that attraction. You can continue to do that with your locks. So if you are a DIYer, you should lock your hair. Patience is something that you're just absolutely going to need if you decide to lock your hair. You're going to need to be patient. It's going to take some time to lock. If you've been patient in the past, if you've ever been patient, if you think you can be patient, then you should lock your hair. Locks grow long. We all know that locks grow long. You can retain length. You can keep your length with locks. It's just the composition of what locks are. You have matted hair in hair. You have hair that has come out at the root that doesn't drop away because it just locks into the hair. You get to retain your length. So if you want long hair, you should lock your hair because your hair will grow long over time if you're patient. You march to the beat of your own drum. You don't care what people think about you. You don't really care what they think about your hair. You have your own style. You have your own sense of fashion. You have your own personality. You make your own decisions. You march to the beat of your own drum. You're not going to care that your friends with perms or natural hair are going to question what's going on in your head for the first couple of months. All that doesn't matter to you. you are an individual. If that is you, you should lock your hair. There are going to be moments when people are kind of side eyeing it because, maybe it's a little fuzzy. In the beginning, your locks will stick up in the air. Don't listen. They do what they want to do until you get the weight and the drop. They just kind of like whatever. So you are going to have to be prepared for that. And if you are someone that frights easily, or someone that is very caught up in what people think and always being on point, and you might have trouble. But if that's not you, and I don't think it is, you should just lock your hair. So you aren't afraid of commitment. You're okay with taking the time that you need to commit to something. People will say that locks are not permanent, that you can comb them out over time. But if you're going to go into it with that thought process, then it really isn't so much of a commitment as it is a fad. And so I don't like to think about the fact that they can be taken out or they can be combed out. I mean, and they can be chopped off. They could be. All those things are true. But when you go into something, I don't think it's really a great idea to start thinking about how it's going to end. So if you are not afraid of commitment, you should lock your hair. That's it, guys. I hope for some of you who are thinking about locking your hair that you are continuing to do your research. You're continuing to be inspired by the videos on YouTube. I know that I was before I started my locks. I was so inspired by just the different, sizes and lengths and colors, and just the personalities of the people who had their hair locked, and no one's locks are the same. Like, it's like bringing a magazine of a haircut to a beautician and saying, I want this haircut. That possibility of getting that haircut is so much easier and so much more possible than locks. Your locks are your own. Your hair, your texture, just the things that each individual lock does, they're all yours. So if you're thinking about locking your hair and you went through this list and all those things are you, if you fit this list, you should just lock your hair. It is a commitment. It does take patience. You do need to kind of just be fearless and unruly like your locks will be in the beginning, but you can do it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm excited to see all the new lock journeys that will begin, that will inspire more lock journeys, as my lock journey has been inspired by many people on YouTube. So enjoy, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.